So good evening, namaskar and welcome.
Good evening.
Welcome to DHV Spirituality and Healing Meet. I'm Shashi Dhar, your host. And the agenda for today is in continuation of the last week. So we are going to have a question-based discussion and experience sharing on the fifth limb of Ashtanga Yoga, which is Pratyahara. So before we start with the session, a quick recap on what we discussed from the last session. So first in the last session, we saw what is Pratyahara and why is it important. That was the first topic that we discussed on, right? So a quick recap would be Pratyahara is turning your senses inside to look into your own life from the inside. And when we say from the inside world, what we mean is the outside world is all about people, situations, and things. And the inside world is all about your ego, emotion, intellect. So we are not looking for faults in the outside world. We are looking for solutions in the inside world. That is the turning point when we turn your senses inside and turn your mind inwards from the outside world to the inside world to solve the riddle of your life. So that is what we are looking at, right? So that is Pratyahara. Why is it important? We asked that question and we discussed a lot. So why is it important? Is because it gives a holistic picture of your life. Because when you're focused only on the outside world, you only get one perception of life. You don't get the total picture. You don't find the truth. The truth is never in the outside world. The truth is always in the inside world. Because life is not what happens to you in the outside world. Life is how you respond to the situations in the outside world. So that is why we say life is always in the inside, and then from the inside world you attract your outside world. Okay, so that is why Pratyahara is important. We get the holistic view of life, and then it will help us to do swadhyay or introspection and move forward in our spiritual journey. That is what we had discussed. And who are the people who would actually get into the situation of Pratyahara? So we saw there could be some people who are totally disillusioned in life, like they feel that the outside world is not giving them the truth of their life. It is not the truth, something else is there. So let me find out what is the truth of my life. Why am I existing? So all these questions arise and they want to know the truth. So I would say people who are disillusioned by the outside world, we know the world is an illusion. So we get totally disillusioned from the outside world, and then we start looking for the truth in the inside world. So these are people who have gone through some suffering or miseries, right? And have some unfulfilled desires which they cannot find an answer in the outside world. That is why we turn inside and we move towards spirituality or the spiritual journey. Second category of people would be who are curious because they just want to know the truth. They somehow feel everything is fine, but there is something which is missing in their life and they can't pinpoint what. So they are looking for the ultimate truth. So they are curious and they are seekers and they are looking for the truth. So they are looking into the Pratyahara and then moving on the spiritual journey. So these are the kind of people who would be there. So we broadly discussed about what is Pratyahara and why is it important. Then we saw what exactly is the need for Pratyahara. And then we saw that our mind is an ideal state of mind should be what? A clear water, lake with a clear water, right? Or you can consider a swimming pool. So a swimming pool which is absolutely clear and the water is still. So that is the way you want your mind to be. Then you are a perfect seeker and you will realize yourself or God realization or self-realization becomes easy. But what is the truth? When we look inside, how do we find our mind? Our inside world, how do we find our inside world? It's all muddy and turbulent, right? Because our desires are making the mind restless. And the quality of these desires will make it muddy and polluted. So it is like a swimming pool which is just after a dust storm, possibly. So there is a huge waves coming in. You can visualize it. Huge waves coming in, water is absolutely turbulent and it is very dirty and muddy. That is the state of mind. So with this state of mind, you can't go ahead in your spiritual journey. And then we saw what is the reason behind it. And we saw the reason behind it is basically the 6 vikar, we call that. In our Shastra mein hamare kaha gaya 6 vikar hain aapke. So what are these 6 vikars? Now this somebody should be able to tell, right? Otherwise it will again become a monologue. So what are the vikars we discussed? Because that was homework also. You had to discuss
Kama, Krodha, Mada, Matsara, Lobha, Mada, Matsara.
Yeah. Kama, Krodha,
Moha, Lobha, Mada, Matsara.
Matsara. Correct? Everybody clear on this? Any doubts? Don't give me such blank expressions.
What is the last one? Matsar? What is that?
Matsar is actually, you can say hatred, envy, jealousy. That is Matsar. Okay. And Mad is ego. And we have different ego ke flavors. Right. So we will discuss on that, because that was the homework I gave. You have to discuss. You have to introspect and find out what is that vikar which is active in you, because all the vikars will not be active. One will be predominant in you. What is that? So is it? So let me go one by one so that you understand. Kama is normally called as desires. Straight translation would be lust, but all forms of desires. So any desire you have, unfulfilled desire, and you are absolutely, panicky about it, or frustrated about it, or desperate about it, ye abhi tak nahi mila, mujhe chahiye, kind of a thing. So you are full of desires. Correct? Second will be krodh, anger, rage. We have seen that. We don't have to explain that. So kam, krodh. Then we have moha. Moh is always for people. Attachment to people. Right? Putra moh ho gaya, patni se moh ho gaya, right? So all that. Parents ke saath attachment ho gayi. So any kind of moh is for the people, and lobh is for the situations and things. तो चीजों से हमको जो लगाव हो जाता है, that is called lobh, greed. Correct? And लोगों से जो हो जाता है उसे बोलते हैं मोह. So it is all about attachment to people and situations and things outside world. So Kam, Krodh, Moh, Lobh. Clear? Mat is ego. And we have different flavors of ego. We'll come to that. And Matsar is...
So, sorry for the interruption. Kam, Krodh, Moh, Lobh.
Mad is ego. Ahankar. Mad. M-A-D. Mad. Mad. M-A-D-H बोल दो. Mad. Okay? Yeah, that is a Sanskrit word, or जो संस्कारों में हमारे संस्कृत में बोला जाता है. Mad is actually the way it is discussed. Its translation would be simple is ego, ahankar. Okay. Now this ego have different flavors. We will come to that short while. And the last one is called Matsar, which is hatred or envy or aversion, whatever you can say. Right? So all kind of jealousy, hatred, envy, all that will be combined as Matsar. Now coming back to Mad. Mad, we have already discussed there are different types of ego flavors. Superiority complex, inferiority complex, everybody is aware of that. Right? Then you have guilt and blame. Either you are feeling guilty, blaming yourself, or you are blaming the whole world. So guilt and blame is another kind of ego which can be plaguing you. Right? Victim syndrome. You can be acting like a victim, and that is a big ego. Okay. Now, this ego can also be of somebody who is very, very dominant or very aggressive. And the opposite of that, it is always in opposites. That's why I'm saying both the things. Superiority and inferiority act in opposites. So somebody who is superiority complex will always find somebody in his life who is inferiority complex. So that the ego can play the part. Right? If there is a victim, there will be a villain. You understand? So if you are playing a victim role, some villain will come into your life and make you feel like a victim. Because if you are a victim, तो कोई villain होना चाहिए ना. So it is always acting in pairs. You have to see which ego flavor is dominating your life. Right? Similarly, if somebody is very complaining, so you will have an aloof ego along with it. If wife is very nagging, very complaining, the husband will be aloof. He will go into a shell, or vice versa. Correct? So it is all happening as a pair. So see which one is operative in your life. And where are you? Right hand side, left hand side. It doesn't matter, by the way. But still, just be aware of it. Because you should know the truth. You're looking at the truth, right? So we should know क्या है मेरी जिंदगी का सच, कौन से विकार हैं जो मेरी लाइफ को चला रहे हैं, जो मेरे को ट्रिगर कर रहे हैं. And the moment you understand that vikar, you should know what is the quality of vikar which I said in the last session. The vikar will make you restless, frustrated, desperate. That is the nature of the vikar. जैसे ही ये trigger होगा, you will become in a state of dis-ease. And if it continues, you will actually fall ill. You will have a disease, or you will fall. Some kind of illness will come to you. Correct? So what is the reason? This vikar is active. It is not the people who are creating problem for you. The people will do something. They will say something. This vikars will get active, and then they play havoc, and they play all kind of poison, create poison in your life. So the solution is to identify the vikar, identify this poison, which is in your system, which is not being given by anybody else. This is your production. You are doing it. So first you need to understand what is the vikar which is in play. So this is what we had discussed in the last session. Everybody clear? Up to date till now? So those who have just joined in this session also would be aware of what we have discussed in the last session. So now let us come to the homework. Yes, Tony, go ahead.
So basically there are 6 different vikars.
Yeah. 6 different vikars, and one ego will have another 6 flavors or 10 flavors, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And ego is something which you know. Ego basic characteristic is that it will create a separatism. It will create a barrier between you and people. You and your parents, you and your wife, you and your siblings, you and neighbors. So you and your colleagues and boss, whatever. Ego will always create a barrier between you and the other person. And some part of some flavor will come. What is that flavor which is coming up? So let us start with that introspection. Okay. So I have given this as a homework. How many of you did that? How many of you could find out which vikar is dominating you or your actions in life? See your actions in life. How is your life going? Which vikar is active? So who would like to say? I don't want details. Just the vikar or the ego flavor, whichever you have identified. All the 10 or 12 may not be there because we are not a Duryodhana or a Kans, right? And you know, yeah, sometimes I'm playing the victim role. Okay, sometimes I get angry. Okay, sometimes I'm feeling very jealous. So you know, it is very, very, very easy to understand because otherwise you are normal. Right now, I'm absolutely normal. I'm easy. I'm joyful. विकार नहीं होंगे तो हम सुखी होंगे. विकार आ गए तो अब हम व्याकुल होंगे. So what is it that is making you restless, frustrated, desperate? Just find out that quality and identify. That is the first homework. Then we will move forward. So who would like to share? Yes, Tony, go ahead.
Shashi, I just wanted to know that, like, supposedly one can identify with the vikar that one is dealing with. But in the earlier time, before I sort of got into this the divine healing process. At that time, there was a lot of frustration, a lot of desperation, and a lot of uneasiness. But I know exactly what the vikar is, but there is no, at present, I would say there is no restlessness or there is no uneasiness or, whatever, kuch aisa hai nahi. Like, I'm just pretty chilled out right now. Okay, so think deep, because if there are no vikars, then I will tell you where to be aware. So I will let me make it clear to everybody, because there could be some people who say, "Mere ko to koi problem nahi hai. I'm very happy right now." You are happy right now. Right now you are in balance. You are in a session. Nobody is going to challenge you here, right? But when you are in front of a boss, when you are in front of your wife, or maybe in front of your neighbor, in front of an enemy, think of a person who is really you consider him like an enemy, whom you don't like. उसके बारे में सोचो और वो विकार अपना सर दिखा देगा, वो नीचे से ऊपर आ जाएगा. Think of a person whom you don't like. Think why you don't like him, and that vikar will show up. बहुत झूठ बोलता है वो, गंदा इंसान है, धोखा देता है सबको. If that is the case, okay. So what is he showing you? That person is like a mirror. He's showing you something which is there in your system, which you have not acknowledged till now. See where you are telling a lie. See how rudely you are talking to people. If you don't like somebody's rude behavior, look into your life and see where you are being rude with people. Get my point? What I'm trying to say? So think of a person whom you hate or whom you don't like.
जिसका नाम लेते ही आपको मारने का मन करता है किसी को, या उसको what it is, एक ना एक तो होगा ना. There should be some devil in your life, some villains in your life. Think of the villains, and you will know what is that vikar. It will show up. Just think. Don't worry. You don't have to tell me the details. I just want to know the vikar, because everybody should come up at least with one vikar. Otherwise, we have become Buddha. Otherwise, we have become an avatar. Huh? Then there is no vikar. Then you become nirvikar. So I'm giving you that explanation also. If there is no vikar, that is where we will be actually moving on. Then you will become nirvikar. And then you will be on the path of becoming a Buddha by becoming Nirgun and Niruddhachit. So that is the making of a Buddha. That is where we are going at. But first we have to dig out the vikars and then burn them up. That is when you will become Nirvikar. And these vikars are obviously of Tamogun and Rajogun. Okay. That is what we are looking at. So they are the, I won't say good or bad. I won't say right or wrong. Leslie is not here, otherwise he would have said there is nothing good, nothing bad, right? So I'm not talking of good and bad, right and wrong. I am just saying it is a low vibration. Tamas is low vibration, Rajas is low vibration, and higher vibration is Sattva. So we have to go to the Sattva level. That will happen only when you are free from your vikars. So first identify the vikars. So you should understand how we are moving forward. हम अपनी consciousness में ऊपर जा रहे हैं from Tamas to Rajas to Sattva. Nothing right or nothing wrong, but that is a process of evolution. Everybody okay with me what I've said? So quickly, just share one vikar which you have identified for yourself, and it should be live for you, because we're going to look at the solution for it in the next step. Right now, today in this session. Yes, Tony. Any vikar you could find out?
Yeah. I know exactly what vikar I'm dealing with. That's
just say that.
Oh, okay. More.
Fine. So attachment, right? So attachments to, obviously we are talking of people. Attachment to people is moh. Attachment to things is lobh. Everybody clear on this, right?
Yeah.
Moh and lobh, right? Okay. So stay with it right now. Yes. Anybody else who would like to share?
Shashi, what about being victim? What would that vikar be?
That is a victim ego. So just identify. You are in the ego, and ego mein kaun sa flavor hai? Victim ego. So you are feeling hopeless, helpless, worthless, nobody loves me or nobody cares for me, kind of a thing. So whatever is the thought coming in, just note down. Victim ego is at play. And what is your statement? There's a favorite statement you are saying as a victim. जैसे बॉलीवुड मूवी से अगर मैं लूं तो नॉर्मली पहले के 70s के हीरोइन क्या कहती थी, उन्होंने as soon as they say see a villain, मुझे भगवान के लिए छोड़ दो, kind of a thing. So that is a favorite victim dialogue. So you have a favorite victim dialogue which you are saying to yourself. Think what it is. कोई मुझे प्यार नहीं करता, मुझे अकेला छोड़ दो मेरे हाल पे. क्या बोल रहे हो आप? एक डायलॉग सुना है आपका, बड़ा फेवरेट है, उसको पकड़ो. कौन सा डायलॉग है वो? That will give you insight how to get rid of it. ठीक है? Find out that. Yes, Umeshi, anything that you could identify, any vikar which is at play for you? I know you have already worked a lot on yourself.
No,
right?
Yes, of course. One of the vikar is I get sometime emotional and I get little angry.
Angry, okay.
Anger is my of this, but nowadays it has been very much curbed now.
Good, very good. That's fine. It must have come down a little. It must have come down a lot actually, right? But
Yeah.
identify one. So you have identified one growth.
Yeah.
So you have picked up growth. Okay, fine. That is fine. Nikita ji, if you can just text, even if it is fine, if you can't switch on the video, or if you can test, or if you can just say in a voice, which is that poison which is there in your system. So we talked of 6 poisons, right? We talked of kama, desires, growth, anger, rage, then moh, attachment to person, people, lobh, attachment to things or attachment to results, then ego, ahankar, where we have superiority, inferiority, and all these things, guilt ego, blame ego, and all that, and then we have hatred, envy, jealousy, kind of a thing, aversion. So out of this, which one is, it is low? Okay, so some kind of attachment to situation, position, job, promotion, wealth, whatever it is, something is there, right? Okay, got it, which is okay. So this one is mostly at play, and whenever it is rising up, what will happen? You will become desperate, you will become frustrated, and you will become in a state of dis-ease. Everybody okay with this explanation till now?
Yes, sir.
Good. So now you have to understand, whenever this vikar is happening, it will have two impacts. If it continues for some specific period of time, it will create some disease in your physical body if it is continuing, and some kind of pain in your mind body. Body and mind में हम experience करते हैं. तो अगर मैं if I use the Hindi language, I will say शरीर में दर्द होगा और मन में दुख होगा. Dukha, right? So in Buddha's language it would be, संसार में क्या है? दुख दर्द है. तो दुख कहाँ है? मन में है, पीड़ा है मन में, और शरीर में शारीरिक पीड़ा है. Correct? So either it is a body pain, body disease, body injury, or it is a pain in the mind. मन में है. तो दर्द है, दुख है, and this is samsara. This is word. That's why he said, dukham dukham sarvam dukham. The whole world is full of sorrow. That is the first step of identification. Okay, this is it. Now this vikar is creating this dukh. Now what is the solution? You have to get rid of this vikar. You don't have to get rid of that person who is triggering this vikar in you, because he is just a reflection. He is a reflection of your inside world. That is why he has come there, to show you कि आप में ये विकार है, आप इसका कुछ करो. That's what the world is showing. Correct? So nothing wrong with the world. You don't have to do anything to them. You have to get rid of these vikars. So what is the solution? So let us first dive more into the details. What is the root cause of this vikar? So now whatever vikar you have identified, there is a statement or there is a root cause to it. So I will give you 3 possible cause behind it, why this vikar is coming up. Look at that and see which one is applicable. Okay. So the first one is, we are living with a feeling or with a firm belief that I am incomplete, unfulfilled, I am incomplete. And there is something that you're looking for which is going to make you complete. Okay. So let me explain what I mean by this. Suppose you are desperately looking for a relationship. What is happening? Or the existing relationship is not giving you fulfillment. What is happening? You feel there is something you are lacking. Life में कुछ missing है, कुछ incomplete है. Like you are incomplete. I am incomplete. I lack. There is a feeling of lack. I lack love. I lack people who love me. I lack people who care for me. Nobody loves me. Nobody cares for me. So I'm kind of incomplete. Okay. So this is the statement that you are saying to yourself. Life में fulfillment नहीं है. I am incomplete. And I am possibly, you can even say, I am broke. I am broken. Okay. टूट गई हूँ, सुनते हैं, टूट गया हूँ, लाइफ में स्ट्रगल करते करते मैं थक गया हूँ, टूट गया हूँ, kind of a thing. So you are feeling very, very incomplete. How many of you can connect with this? How many of you can connect with this? Yeah. So that is a very, very powerful statement, which is actually causing this vikar to come up. And once this vikar come up, then you become more frustrated and desperate, and then you lose all kind of any kind of sanity in your life, because this vikar has taken over now. Now the balance is gone. Now you're out of balance. And when you're out of balance, you will fall. Correct? Now, let us look at the reality. Is this a universal law? I am incomplete. I am lacking. Is this a universal law? First, let me tell that. This is a belief. This is a belief. You must have got a lot of proofs in your life. जिंदगी में बहुत सारी ऐसी घटनाएं हुई होंगी जिसकी वजह से you must be feeling this way, that I am incomplete. But is that the truth? Is this a universal truth? Anybody?
No.
Raise their hands. No, this is not a universal truth. So drop it. It has been given to you from your past sanskars, maybe from your society conditioning. Thrash it out. How will you replace this? How will you replace this? With a firm belief. I am whole, I am complete, I am perfect. Can you say this? Now write it down. I am whole, complete, and perfect. lacking nothing. I need nothing. I need no one. I am whole, I am complete, I am perfect. Write it down. Not needing is a big freedom. How many of you can suddenly find some kind of a breathing space? Huh? Good. Write it down. जब भी आपको ये feeling आए, एक second में जी. Whenever you get this feeling, I am incomplete, I am lacking something, just come back to this universal truth. This is the universal truth. आप पूर्ण हैं. And there is a Purna mantra, which I normally teach in my Vedanta session, right? So you are whole, you are complete, you are perfect. Lacking nothing. You need nothing, you lack nothing. This is the universal truth. Note it down and make this as your belief system. And this will neutralize that thought. And the moment that thought is neutralized, this vikar will not become active. Whatever is driving that vikar, the energy to that vikar will stop. So the vikar will not get active, triggered. Let me tell you, it is not burning off, but it will be dormant. There are two stages of a vikar. Either it is dormant, either it is active, hyperactive, or it is dormant. And then third stage is it is burnt. So right now it is not burnt, it is just dormant by a statement that you're going to say, I am whole, I am complete, I am perfect, lacking nothing, needing nothing. Can you write this statement, everybody? Yeah? Okay, good. Now let me have some sharing because this is very powerful. Let me have some sharing from someone. Any questions, any doubts? Umeshi, you wanted to say something?
No, I was telling you, see, it is a positive attitude and a positive thinking. At all circumstances will definitely make it to get into a positive mode.
No, sir, it is a bit deeper than that. It is basically challenging your belief system. It is much more than a mindset. It is much more than a thought or an emotion. Thought and emotions will come and go. Belief system is very, very fundamental.
Yes,
you
sir.
cannot change your belief system just like it must be carrying on from the last lives possibly. It is come possibly at the age of 5 when somebody said, you know, when you felt broken inside, when you thought that your parents don't love you. That is when you were broken inside for the first time, maybe 3 years, 5 years old.
Yeah.
Then you said, I am broken, nobody loves me, I am unloved. That is what I'm talking of. So this is very, very fundamental. This is just not a thought or an emotion. You can't brush it aside.
Yeah.
Okay. This is very, very profound. So you have to drill this into your mind again and again and again. I am whole, I'm complete, I'm perfect. Okay. And this will stop your vikar from getting active. How many of you can connect with what I'm saying? Good. Write down this statement. This is very good. Welcome, Alokji. You're a bit late. Just catch up from wherever you are, right? So we are looking at
thank you.
Yeah, we are looking at the reason of the vikar getting active. In the last session, we discussed about the vikars, how they can become active and become cause frustration in your life. So we are looking at the first you have identified the vikar. So if you can identify that, it will be good. And we are looking at what is the cause or what is the root cause of these vikars getting active. So we saw the first statement is, in some situations, you are feeling that you are incomplete, you are lacking in life, you are unfulfilled. Okay. And that gives rise to this vikar. And the solution to that is you come to a universal law, and the universal law is I am whole, I am complete, I am perfect. This is called the Purna mantra of the Vedanta. Okay. So you can do a Google search, you will come to know about it. But this is straight away taking from the Purna. Purna means you are whole, complete, perfect, lacking nothing, needing nothing. That is the first statement. Okay. Now, the second root cause. The second root cause of the vikars which are plaguing you is the ego creates a feeling that you are separate from others. And when you are separate from others, comparison is obvious. So you feel I am not as good as that person. It starts right from the beginning. Siblings rivalry, comparison with siblings, comparison with students, comparison with people. Always you are being compared to someone in the outside world, and then you feel you are not as good as the other person. Correct? So you are separate from the world. This separatism is something which gives you a feeling that I am not as good as the other person. I am small, I am weak, I'm not good as others. How many of us have experienced that?
Shashi, I have a question.
Yeah.
This root cause which you say, when you have a feeling that you're not as good as the other person, but if you're feeling a victim, I'm not able to place my thought process in this. Not good. If you're feeling a victim, let's
Obviously,
say,
if you're a victim, then you are
I'm not
helpless,
Let's say
hopeless. You are
I'm
not good. You're not good enough. You're not good
but
enough to
who
be.
am I comparing myself with? किससे compare कर रही हूँ?
पूरी दुनिया आपके अगेंस्ट है ना, सारे विलेन हैं. You are living a life of a Meena Kumari then. Sorry to give that example.
That's
but
okay.
When you are a victim, you are only inviting villains in your life, right? You won't invite a hero in your life.
But comparison किसके साथ हो रहा है? Who am I comparing?
पूरी दुनिया अलग होगी ना आपसे. वैसे जैसे ही मैं victim हुआ, पूरी दुनिया villain हो गई. See, when I was also experiencing this victim syndrome, I felt the whole world is after there to kill me. My boss is after my life. My wife is making my life miserable. My neighbors were fighting with me. Everybody is against me. Everybody is my enemy. There is nobody whom I can trust. Nobody loves me. Nobody cares for me. This is a pure 100% victim syndrome. Okay. Now, in your case, it may not be so predominant. It could be one or two people. That is good enough. But still, you are playing a victim in front of them. They come in front of you, and you become a victim. Okay. So just get hold of it right now. If victim ego is happening, these statements are for a victim ego. By the way, all the three statements which I'm going to say will be valid. Okay. So just take it right now. So the second one is there is a separatism. There is a separation between you and the others. And being a victim is very, very clear because all the others are villains. So I am here and all the whole world is around me. Like I'm Abhimanyu. Remember the scene of Mahabharata? Abhimanyu is surrounded by enemies. So everybody is out there to kill me. That is the feeling I have. Making sense? Making sense? Hello, somebody say something.
Yeah,
good. So if there is an ego and there is a case of separatism, separation between you and the others, the ego is active. And what is the statement now? Is this true? Is this a universal truth that I am a victim and the whole world is after me? No, it is a perception. Correct? This perception has to go. How will you change that? What is the truth? Again, come back to the truth. What is the universal truth? What is the universal truth?
I am whole, complete and perfect.
वो तो पहला हो गया जब लैक में आ रहा है. इसमें क्या बोलोगे? I am divine. I am one with the divine. The divine energy is flowing through me and as well as everybody else. We are all the same. We are one. There is no separatism. Ego is a creation of the mind. In truth, we are all one, right? So I am divine. The moment you say I am divine, or in the Vedanta wisdom, we would say, Aham Brahmasmi. I am divine. The moment you are divine, everybody is divine. There is no gap. There is no separatism. And then combine with this with the first statement. I am whole, I am complete, I am perfect. I am divine and I am complete. I don't need anybody. So the victim syndrome will stop. The moment you say, I am divine, whatever people say, you are feeling weak, you are feeling helpless, say, I am divine. I don't believe these statements. These are thoughts. I am weak, I am helpless is a thought, is a perception of a child. Change that belief system. I am divine. I deserve the best things in life. Okay. So you will break that belief system and you will stop that vikar from getting active. Making sense? So the second statement is, I am divine. Third root cause is you feel that I will take the same example, Sylvia ji, that if you feel that you are in the victim syndrome, now what is happening? You are experiencing life, right? Because of your karmas. So you will feel, I did something. I did something. So this could be at the highest level. You can say, I am the greatest. I am like Sachin Tendulkar. I mean, if he was in his ego, he would say, I scored 100 hundreds. Nobody has done that. I am the greatest player on this planet Earth. Karta ban gaya na wo, ego mein aa gaya na. Right? So ego ka kartapan jo hai. Kartapan means the doership. When you feel that I am the doer, or the moment you say I am the doer, then you will have the experiencer also. The moment you are doing an action, you will experience it also. So you are caught in the trap of karta bhokta. This is called the karta bhokta bhav, which is the doership and the experiencer. So you are doing something and you are experiencing it. You are completely trapped in the bondage of karma. Law of karma will take over. You do some karma, what will happen? You will get a result. आप कर्म के बंधन में फंस गए. The moment you are a doer, there will be an experiencer, right? I did something, so I scored 100 hundreds, so I will get all the name, fame, and reputation. So I did something as a karta, as a bhokta, I am experiencing life. I committed a murder as a karta, now I am experiencing life term, bhokta. So karta bhokta is what? Law of cause and effect, law of karma. So you are stuck in this law of karma. Making sense?
So
yes, Tony.
So what, there was the first one was living with a feeling of being incomplete.
बिरयानी का चिकन पीस लाके खा दूंगा, मेरे को यहीं पे दे दो. तुम बिरयानी भी तो लाई हो.
Yeah, good, Tony.
Yeah, first one was living with the feeling of incompletion. Second one was living with the feeling of separation or the separatism.
Correct, very good.
So the third one, what did you say?
अभी आ ही नहीं है उस पे, अभी हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं.
अच्छा अच्छा, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So when you say I am the doer of any action, then you will also be the experiencer of that action.
Yeah.
And this karta bhakta karta and bhokta part will always make you the what do you say? The consequences will come to you. Correct? Consequences will always come to you because you are the doer and you are the experiencer. तो आपने जो कुछ किया है उसका रिजल्ट आपको आएगा ही आएगा. Right? So this karta bhokta part will always give rise to suffering and misery in your life. So what is the result here? What is the result is you have to be free from your karta and bhokta bhav and become a sakshi. We talked about this. That is what Leslie was talking when I said you are 5 steps ahead. This is what I wanted to say. Equanimity or samta or sakshi bhav.
Sakshi bhav is being the observer.
हाँ, तो कर्ता और भोक्ता भाव को तोड़ने का एक ही तरीका है. You become a sakshi, you become an observer. Don't start reacting to situations, people and situations. Start responding to it. First observe and then respond. What Sylvia ji had asked in the last session, what is a sakshi bhav? I said, no, you watch a movie of your life, then you become an observer. The moment you become an observer, these vikars which are getting active will stop. होगा कि नहीं? सोचो. Somebody is coming to threatening you. Now you can get panicky, you can get wild, and you can smash his head right then. Correct? Fight हो गया, आपने उसका सर फोड़ दिया, उसने आपके हाथ तोड़ दिए, जो भी है, fight हो गया. Now this is what reaction, immediate reaction, right? कर्ता भोक्ता में फंस गए. अगर आप थोड़ा सा ऑब्जर्व करो सिचुएशन को, okay, what is the situation? Somebody has come and threatened me, okay, how can I respond in the best way? Think of all the options, then pick up the right action. Then at least you will avoid that confrontation then and there. Maybe next day when things are cooled off, you can have a better discussion and some mutual solution can arise. Right or wrong? Yeah,
right.
So instead of reacting, start responding. We have heard that a lot of times, but that is actually what it means. Create a gap. Immediately you won't be able to jump into sakshi bhav, but create a gap between your action and between your situation and the action. Whatever the situation demands, take some time, relax, cool, ठंडे दिमाग से सोचो, think about it, and then take a response, not a reaction. That will help you to create a gap between the situation and your action. Making sense? And slowly you will switch from the Karta Bhokta experience to the Sakshi experience. That is what will give you equanimity. Then you can say whatever is happening in the outside world, I need not label that as good or bad, right or wrong in my inside world. Inside world में उसको judgment नहीं करना है. बाहर की दुनिया में तो judgment होगा, होने दो. अंदर की दुनिया में आपको judgment नहीं होना है, judgmental नहीं होना है. आपको साक्षी भाव से, observer mode, equanimity के साथ उस situation को देखना है. So you will be able to respond, and that will stop your vikars from getting active. Yes or no? क्रोध नहीं आएगा ना, rage नहीं होगा ना. Now it is a calculated decision you are taking maybe after 5 hours. How many of you can connect with what I'm saying? Yes. So this third one is more practical. You have to work a lot on that. First two are basically a statement which you have to change your belief system. But the third one is a change in behavior. And these three in combination will make any vikar dormant. And sharing this from my experiences in life. For once, I can say that I was a person for whom all the vikars were active, and most of the time. I was in such a terrible, miserable condition when I started my spiritual journey. And Tony is fully aware of that situation way back in 1997 when I was in a nervous wreck. I couldn't handle even a simple situation, you know, in a normal, casual or a cool mood. I was always panicky, always desperate and frustrated about situations in life, and that is where my journey started. So it was, all the 6 vikars were active. My victim ego was at its powerfully best form. So nothing was working in my life. So that was the situation from where I came. So every vikar can be handled and it can be rooted out. Yes, it will take time, but first you have to make it dormant. First you have to make it dormant. And these are the 3 statements which helped me a lot. How to actually make your vikars dormant and bring some normalcy, some balance, which Sylvia ji had said in the last. Balance कैसे आएगा? Balance ऐसे आएगा. पहले अपने belief system को change करके universal law तक जाओ, और उसके बाद कर्ता भोक्ता भाव को छोड़ के साक्षी भाव में आओ. That will give you the balance. And that is when the Pratyahara will move to the next level of dharana, which we will cover in the next session, right? So that is a Gyan for today. Let me first close the Gyan session, then we will take the questions from everybody, right? But this is what I wanted to share. So any questions on this, please share. Yes, Tony, go ahead.
So basically, the third pattern of one's personal listing is Karta Bhokta. That is the third one, which Karta Bhokta se hatke hame Sakshi bhav mein aana. So basically, like what I can understand now, living with the feeling of incompletion, and the second was living with the feeling of separation or separatism, whatever. And now the third is कर्ता भोक्ता का जो पैटर्न है उसको हटा के साक्षी भाव में आना है.
बिल्कुल.
Am I correct?
बिल्कुल. Absolutely perfect. The right understanding.
Okay.
Absolutely great understanding. Make a note of it because I don't want you to forget these, right? And see it in your life and see how you can get rid of these vikars and monitor it. Swadhyay karo, introspection karo. When I'm using these statements, are my vikar getting active? Try that for 24 hours. Then try that for 48 hours. Then try that for a week. And I can guarantee you this works. Your vikars will slowly become dormant and will give you a new fresh lease of life, fresh breath of life. And you will be in a state of ease, joy. Even if the outside situation is the same, you will feel a lot of love, peace, and happiness in your life. That is what I would
Equanimity.
suggest, right?
Equanimity.
Yes. Anybody else who would like to share? Tony, we're good. Very good. Good understanding. Yes. Anybody else who would like to share? Please go ahead. Alok ji, you have missed the major part, but anything that comes up to your mind, which
No,
we share karna chahe?
I totally agree with this. I think this state we have to reach, and it takes some time.
It will take time, but it is the way to, you have found the road on which you can make your vikars dormant. Once the
But,
vikars
tell me,
are
sir,
dormant,
how to immediately identify them, because these are the things, they are like a, devils. All of a sudden they will come, because every situation what we are going, just inside the home, even stepping out just outside the sun, we are faced with so many things, and our vikars will dormant also will start coming out knowingly, unknowingly.
so the first
And
thing you
how-
have to
how-
understand is,
how to master this technique of
so you have to first start by looking at, am I okay right now, or am I frustrated right now? So am I at ease? So right now, if I'm conducting this session, I am at ease, right? So first ask your question to yourself. Am I at ease right now? If you are at ease, you will know, you will see a smile on your face. Huh? And if you are not at ease, then ask, if I'm not at ease, which vikar is at play? What is the thought going on? You must be thinking of somebody who is upsetting you, correct? So forget that person. Now look at that situation, or that person is making me upset. What is that actual thing which is causing me this upset? कौन सा विकार है? You will find out. Just go back, flashback में 2 सेकंड पीछे जाओ, कौन सी thought थी? Just look at the thought that was bothering you, or the thought you were thinking when you got upset. Correct? So do a little bit of analysis. With a little bit of awareness, you will be able to pinpoint which vikar is active. And by the way, even if you can't figure out right now which vikar is active, you can straight away go to the solution of these three. I am whole, I am complete, I am perfect, I am divine, and I am today operating as a Sakshi, Samta. I will operate with equanimity. Okay? Can you make these three statements? Sure. I am whole, I am complete, I am perfect, lacking nothing, needing nothing. I am divine. Today, I will operate with equanimity in all the situations in my life. Can you say this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do that. Why do you bother about which vikar is coming? If you do this, the vikar will not come anyway. And in spite of that, if it is coming, just identify which one it is. And then again, go into the analysis mode. Making sense? You have to look at the solution. These three statements will make the vikar dormant. So use these statements right in the morning. Do that 10 times, 20 times, whatever times you want to say. Drill it into your subconscious mind. Make it your belief system. So the vikars will not be operative at all. Making sense? Umeshi, making sense?
Yes, sir.
Good. So do that. That is what I do. I don't wait for the vikars to come out. I simply rattle this up and, like, bombard it with my subconscious mind right in the morning with all these positive affirmations. And there is no scope for any vikar to come up. Even if they come up, they will slightly raise their head, and this will again bang them, and it will go inside.
You'll remove them in the bud itself.
Yeah. First you have to suppress it.
Yes.
Removal will come later in dhyan and samadhi. We will come to that later.
Yes, sir.
Right now, we are just looking at what is coming up. And then it is like saying, if you are listening to a tragedy song, okay, so let me make it a bit humorous. It is becoming a bit more tense. Huh? Suppose I am used to hearing that song, Mukesh song, okay, earlier, the Mukesh song, Dost, Dost, Na Raha, Pyar, Pyar, Na Raha. If I am singing that song continuously for maybe number of years, what will happen? So what is the life about? I don't have friendship. I don't have love in my life. Clear?
Yes.
क्योंकि दोस्त भी चला गया और दोस्त प्यार लेके चला गया तो डूब गया मैं. Correct? That is the life I am living. Right?
Yeah.
Now, if that is the song I am singing for 10 years, now suddenly that vikar, everything is coming. That is a vikar action, putting that as a song. So what I'm doing now, I'm not singing that song now. What I'm singing now, I am whole, I'm complete, I'm perfect. This is equivalent to saying what? Now what I'm saying, ye dosti hum nahi todenge. Correct?
Yeah.
Pyar Mila, Ikrar Mila, correct? That kind of a song. Now what is happening? I am singing this song again and again and again. That song is dormant. It's not gone. It is not deleted from the system. But I'm not playing that song. No, it is not in my favorite list now. My top songs are Ye Dosti Hum Nahi Todenge, Pyar Mila, Ikrar Hua, all that stuff, right? All the goody romantic songs. So life is full of joy, peace, happiness. Making sense? I am listening only to the Sattvic songs now. I'm not listening to the tragedy songs. I'm not listening to Tamas. I'm not listening to Rajas. I am only listening to Sattva. Making sense? Everybody can connect? Stop playing the tragedy songs in your life. Stop watching the tragedy movies of your life. That is the message. Your vikars will stop. Okay. Sing the song.
They won't disappear, no, Shashi.
Pardon?
They will not disappear. They, as you are saying, वो दब जाएंगे.
अभी दबाना है. अभी दबाना इसलिए है क्योंकि first you have to suppress them so that they don't come into play. At this stage.
बहुत टाइम से दबे भी. And then ऊपर
जाएंगे लेकिन अभी नहीं जाएंगे. इस स्टेज पे नहीं जाएंगे. प्रत्याहार पे नहीं जाएंगे. वो पहले धारणा पे आएंगे अगले हफ्ते हम. उसके बाद हम ध्यान में जाएंगे. जब ध्यान में जाएंगे तब वो उसको हम जलाना सीखेंगे. सीड को जलाते कैसे हैं. एंड देन वी मूव टू समाधि. दैट इज व्हाई ध्यान के बाद समाधि आता है. ध्यान में ये होगा. प्रत्याहार में नहीं होगा. प्रत्याहार इज ओनली टू टेल यू दैट दिस इज देयर. सप्रेस इट एंड मूव अहेड. आप अभी आगे बढ़ रहे हैं. ठीक है. सो तमस से बचना है, रजस से बचना है, सत्वा में जाके टिकना है. इसको एकाग्रचित्त बोलते हैं. So when you are singing only the songs of Sattva, Sattvic, then you are Ekagrachit, which is here, third eye chakra, right? So that will give you some stability and experience of love, peace and joy in your life. That is what we are looking at right now. First you make tamasic imprints and the rajasic imprints dormant. Then you go to dharana, which we will go into the next week. And we will see how to fulfill your desires. Which desires to fulfill? Now, if I have a desire that I want to kill everybody, I want to kill 10 people in my life, I know it is tamasic, no? I will discard it. I will not follow it. But if I have a desire, I am enjoying perfect health. Yes, good. Go ahead, manifest it. So, dharana is manifesting the desires which are in your good and in the welfare of others also. Only that you will manifest. That is dharana. How to fulfill your desires. That is dharana. Then you sit in the dhyan and then you start burning off your seeds. And then you move on to the samadhi. So these are the three final stages which we will move on from the next week. We'll look at dharana and then dhyan and then samadhi. But right now, pratyahar we have completed. Any questions on pratyahar? You can ask questions. Right? So besides Umesh ji, Tony and Sylvia ji, anybody else who would like to have any questions, please ask. Alok ji, Monica, Amit ji, and Vivek ji. In case you can switch on your video if you have any questions, anything that you want to ask. And Nikita ji, if you want to type out anything that you want to ask, please go ahead. Because we are nearing the end of the program. Any questions, anything that you have, please ask. Yes. Who would like to go? Who would like to ask? Share something. Nobody? No questions? So either everything is clear or nothing is clear. हाँ? तो कौन से स्टेज पे हैं? या तो सब समझ में आ गया या कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आया. तो कहाँ पे हैं हम लोग? जिनका वीडियो ऑन है उनको तो मैं देख पा रहा हूँ कि उनको समझ में आ गया है and possibly they are making a note also, right?
ये थोड़ा complicated ये है, मंथन चल रही है, समझ में आ रहा है.
Good, good. So practice, practice, practice. That's all you need to do. Change your belief system and practice being in the Sakshi form. Equanimity. Okay.
Sir,
right.
Sir, third को हमने क्या affirmation देना चाहिए sir? The third.
Third में you just take it on day-to-day basis that today I will live all my today I will do all my actions with equanimity.
Today
I will live my life with equanimity. Okay, make it that way.
I shall live my life.
I will. With equanimity.
Okay.
Okay, Amit-ji, that is fine. So Amit-ji says everything clear, no questions. He will talk to me later. So that is fine, right? Okay. So let me check with others. Alok-ji, last and final call for you. Anything that you would like to share or ask? Please switch on your video and you can ask your question. Nikita-ji, anything you would like to ask? Monica-ji and Vivek. Anything that you would like to know? Okay, no question. So in that case, we'll come to the end of the session and look into whatever we have discussed. Go through this video again, make notes and see. And in case anybody needs to have any kind of clarity, you can call me. You can call me one-on-one and we can discuss and take it on. But this is very, very profound. Let me tell you that, because all these have been, I have gone through all these experiences in my life, and these have actually helped me a lot to overcome the vikars and maintain a lot of, maintain myself at that high level of sattvic qualities. Possible? Yes, it is possible. It is tough. Yes, it is tough. It has been a long journey for me. And the most important thing is to start walking on this journey. So maybe I did my spiritual healing, I did my meditation, I did my yoga, I did everything that was possible that came to me. I just went on taking everything and moved on. And that has brought me to a stage where I can actually see that, yes, I've come out of that mess and I'm moving forward on my spiritual journey. And I can share my experiences with you today. So that itself is a proof that, I've come to a state where I have things in control. Okay, right. So it is tough, yes, but it is a wonderful, wonderful journey. And obviously, whether you like it or not, whether you want it or not, you are on this journey. So better enjoy it and move with awareness.
We want it badly.
So move with awareness, that's all. Don't sleepwalk in your life. Once you're awake, start moving with awareness. That's the only thing. And Sakshi Bhav actually means, equanimity actually means being fully aware of what is happening in your life right now. Just become aware of it. And don't let the mind be a master. Mind is a good slave. So control the mind. Mind has to follow your instructions. You can't be a slave to the mind. That is when you will start moving forward in the spiritual journey, right? So we have just completed, we have just overshot the time by 3 minutes. So I'll close the session. If no more questions, thank you very much for your participation. And I hope this session was valuable, though I did not get much response from others except for the 3 people, but I hope this session was valuable to all.
Excellent. Because this was really I was waiting for, and it's really.
Thank you, Meji. Thank you, all the participants. Watch the video, watch the recordings, and let's meet again next Wednesday. Till then, enjoy a great life, enjoy a great week. Aham Brahmasmi.
Aham Brahmasmi.
Thank you, Shashi Bhaiya. Thank you so much.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.